Hello friends, how are you? Hope you are doing well. So today we will learn about construction environmental risks, opportunities for improvement and their positive impact. So basically we will talk about ROI of construction environmental management. Okay, ROI means I am writing here risks, opportunities and impacts. Okay, so what can be the risks, what can be the opportunities for improvement, and how we can generate the positive impacts if we are working for those opportunities for improvement. We'll take certain examples one by one. So first example is related to soil erosion. Okay, the soil erosion and degradation from machineries and vegetation removal leading to sedimentation in waterways. Now what can be the opportunities for improvement in this case, like implementing erosion control measures like silt fences and replanting vegetation to stabilize the soil. But there can be certain positive impacts related to this. If we are implementing and working for those opportunities, we can improve the soil health condition and enhancing agriculture productivity and ecosystem resilience also. Ecosystem resilience. The next one is about water pollution, which is happening from runoff carrying we can say sediments, oils, okay, and also chemicals and harming the aquatic ecosystem actually. So the opportunities actions are like use best management practices BMP such as sediment basins to filter runoff and improve water quality. And also it will lead to certain cleaner water systems supporting biodiversity and enhancing the community health also. Community health. So this is a major aspect and where we need to focus always. Community health. Third one is about air pollution, which is happening from the dust and emissions, contributing to respiratory problems for workers and nearby community residents. And also it can lead to impact to the wildlife as well. Then adopting dust control measures like water spraying and using low emission machineries to reduce airborne pollutants actually. Then what can be the impacts, positive impacts? We can enhance the air quality and improving the public health and community well-being actually. Then next is about noise pollution. Noise pollution is happening from construction activities which will be like disrupting local wildlife and also affecting the quality of life for the residents. So what we should do, we need to schedule noisy activities during off-peak hours and use noise barriers, okay, to mitigate the impact. So what can be the positive impacts we can have? Now we can have quieter construction enhances, which will be enhancing community satisfaction and also protecting wildlife habitats also. Okay, next is about habitat destruction. This is happening from construction and which can lead to loss of biodiversity and vital ecosystem services also. So the opportunities can be like conducting thorough environmental impact assessments, basically we call that EIAs, okay, EIAs to inform project planning and minimizing the habitat loss. So we can create certain positive impact by applying these opportunities, like working on these opportunities, protecting habitats, contributing to biodiversity and also supporting ecological health as well. Then next risk comes about waste generation. Waste generation from the construction activities which can lead to landfills and lead to resource depletion as well. So implementing recycling programs and material reuse strategies which can minimize the waste output and promoting sustainability. Okay, then what can be the impacts? Positive impacts will be like reducing landfill, using conserving the resources and fostering the circular economy practices. Then next risk is about chemical spills and poor waste management, which will pose risk to human health and the environment. Chemical spill we are talking about. This can lead to certain impacts, negative impacts related to human health and the environment also. But what can be the opportunity? Like we need to enhance training on handling hazardous chemicals or hazardous materials and improving spill response protocols to prevent incident. Also, there can be certain positive impact, which is about like we will have safer sites, protecting workers' health and also reducing environmental contamination. Then next risk is about high energy consumptions. Okay, and which can lead to greenhouse gas emission and also contributing to the climate change. So what can be the opportunities? Like we can say transition to renewable energy sources and also improve machinery efficiency to lower the carbon footprint. Okay, the next comes what can be the positive impacts of these opportunities. We can say sustainable energy practices which will mitigate climate change and also enhancing the corporate responsibility. Okay, next is disruption of the local ecosystems, which can be a risk, and also wildlife populations can lead to ecological imbalances. Then what we need to do for this? We need to create buffer zones and wildlife corridors to mitigate impacts and support wildlife movement. By doing so, we can protect ecosystems, enhancing biodiversity and also the community engagements in conservation. Then next comes about land use conflicts, which arise when construction projects are encroaching on agricultural or natural lands, and the opportunities for improvement like promoting sustainable land use planning and involve local communities also in decision making processes. So thoughtful planning will preserve essential resources and also promoting sustainable development. Then next comes about groundwater depletions, which is occurring due to excessive water extractions for the construction needs. So next risk is groundwater depletion. Okay, depletion. The opportunities can be for this: implement water efficient practices. Also, we can say explore alternative sources to minimize groundwater uses. Then the impact will be positive impacts for these opportunities when we are working on them. Responsible water uses, which will support local aquifers and long-term water availability. Then next comes contamination of the soil from improper disposal of the hazardous material can lead to health risks. So this is a risk which is about soil contamination. And what can be the opportunities? Opportunities are like establishing strict disposal protocols and also regular stringent monitoring to prevent contamination incidents. What can be the positive impact? We can talk about clean soil, which is supporting healthy ecosystem and also reducing public health risk. Next is about increased traffic congestion, which is happening from construction activities, which can lead to air quality issues and increased emissions also. The opportunities can be like optimizing construction schedules and use efficient transportation methods to minimize traffic impacts. Also, we can improve traffic flow, which will enhance community accessibility and also reducing emissions. Then next comes about pollution, which is visual pollution. Visual pollution from construction sites can negatively affect local aesthetics and property values also. So using temporary screening and landscaping to minimize visual impacts during construction, which will enhance aesthetics and which will contribute to community pride and local property values also. Next comes about invasive species which may be introduced through construction activities, and it can disrupt the local ecosystem. So what can be opportunities for action? Implement control measures to prevent the introduction of non-native species during the site preparations, also which will lead to protect native ecosystem and also maintain biodiversity and ecological integrity. Then next comes about overuse of the resources. Overuse of resources such as timber, minerals, and this can lead to environmental degradation. So we need to promote sustainable sourcing practices and alternative materials to reduce resource depletion. And this can create certain positive impact in terms of sustainable resource use, which will support the ecological balance and responsible industry practices also. Then next is about climate related impacts or risk associated with the climate. Like examples are flooding, extreme weather, which can damage construction sites and increase risks to the business also. Then what we need to do, integrate climate resilience strategies into project planning to mitigate the potential impacts. Climate risk mitigation, adaptation practices. Okay, so effective climate risk assessment is required for it. Then it can create certain positive impact in terms of resilient construction practices, which will enhance community safety and adaptability to climate change also. Adaptability to climate change. Then next is about poorly managing demolition activities, which can release hazardous materials and posing health risk. Demolition activities. So what we need to do, we need to implement thorough assessments, environmental impact assessment, and controlled demolition techniques to safely manage hazardous materials. So safer demolition protects public health and also it facilitates responsible development. Responsible, very important word, students, development. Okay. Next risk comes lack of community engagement, and this can lead to opposition and project delays also. Lack of community engagements. So what we need to do, we need to foster open communication with the stakeholders, all the stakeholders, and involve them in the planning process, and this can create certain positive impact in terms of improving project acceptance and long-term support. So strong community relations can improve project acceptance and long-term support, and it will continue your social licensing also for construction project. Then poor waste management practices. This can result in illegal dumping and environmental harm. So we need to have certain actions. So what can be those opportunity actions? Like establish clear waste management protocols and engage local authorities to enforce regulations. So we create certain positive impacts out of these actions, like effective waste management, which will be promoting a cleaner environment and also enhancing the community health. So this is how we learned about the construction activities, associated risks, plus their opportunity actions, and the associated positive impacts if we work on these opportunities. Okay, so working on these opportunities, this risk can be either prevented or mitigated. Thank you very much, friends. So we will go for next discussion very soon.